The MacBook Pro really is one of the best investments I've ever made when it comes to content creation. But when they break, the cost of fixing them can hurt. So instead, when I broke my top spec 2015 MacBook Pro with Retina display 15-inch, I decided to cut my losses, sell it on eBay, and pick up a used one for just over $700. Now, immediately, this may seem like an excellent deal. However, once we look at the condition, we can see some imperfections. The most obvious being the two small dents on the back that I can look past. However, the more annoying is the scratch on the edge of the palm rest, which can definitely be a bit sharp at times. I'm still wondering what the scratch is doing there anyway. It's almost as if the previous owner tried to eat their laptop. As far as imperfections go, that's it. Something that you do need to be especially careful for when looking for a used Mac, however, is the battery cycles. Make sure the battery cycle is as low as possible, and if it's above 700, I wouldn't personally recommend it unless you're using it as an always plugged in desktop replacement. When the battery cycle surpasses 700, the battery will most likely start seriously fluctuating in terms of how much charge it can hold. Now, I could have spent $200 more and got one in a better condition, but as far as cosmetic imperfections go, I'm not really bothered. Instead, I'm more interested in performance, and so far, it's been the same as the MacBook I bought new, which was excellent. And that's kind of crazy seeing as this MacBook's under half the price of my last one, but it provides the same specs and the same raw performance. Now, let's move on to what the OS experience is like on this used machine. Typically, the OS experience will fluctuate depending on how old you go with your MacBook, but it will be the same for pretty much all of the Retina models. The OS is still snappy, and while I did do a clean install of High Sierra when I received the machine, there have been no OS bugs so far. Because this is a 2015 model, it does have the Force Touch trackpad, which has always been excellent, and on this machine it's no exception. Make sure that there is no water damage on the trackpad, however, as a water damaged trackpad is a really bad experience. In terms of the keyboard, the bottom row was a little sticky, however this can be remedied in about half an hour, allowing me to pretty much get 100% of my typing speed, whereas a damaged trackpad will be a much more complicated or costly fix. The USB ports were also a bit dirty, but cotton buds soon fixed that, and now, aside from the small dents and scratches, this machine looks absolutely great. Following this, the seller of this particular MacBook didn't include the box, and the charger was ripped at the end, which they'd remedied with electrical tape. I replaced this almost instantly, as despite being covered with electrical tape, the charger was still damaged. They did include a new laptop bag though, which was nice. So to answer the question whether or not you should get a used Mac, based on my experience, sure. I've really been loving my used Mac while being able to save a lot of money. If you want to get a Mac but you don't like the price tag of a new Mac and aren't really bothered about a fancy box, then I would 100% recommend getting a used Mac. Just be sure to read the description very carefully to make sure you're not getting ripped off. Thank you for watching. Remember to like the video. If you want to see more content like this, then please subscribe. There's one thing left to say, and that is goodbye.